Hello, my friends. I am messing this up. And I fixed it. Great. I am amazing. And so are you. And so is our skill this week, which is writing friendly letters. I love to write. You might be tired of writing if you were hanging with Miss Morris during our informational writing. I know that was a lot, but writing friendly letters is so much fun because when you're writing friendly letters, you're really getting to share things that are going on in your heart. And it's a fun way to be able to communicate. Now, a lot of times we don't send friendly letters in the mail anymore. We send an email or a text. There are lots of ways that we communicate with people through words, and this is just one of them. Okay, so friendly letters have 5 parts to them. They have the heading, which is really the date, the salutation or the greeting. Then there's the body of the letter, the closing, and the signature, which is your name. And I remember the 5 parts of the letter in a fun way. Okay, I have a little song. It goes like this. It's to the tune of the Addams Family. Da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na. The 5 parts of the letter are easy to remember. Heading, greeting, body, closing, signature, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter. All right, now you sing it with me. The 5 parts of the letter are easy to remember. Heading, greeting, body, closing, signature, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter, parts of a letter. Okay, you're going to have to remember that all week long so you can remember the 5 parts of the letter because not only are you going to write with them, you're going to have to label them too. Okay, let's break it down. The heading. The heading can include your address if you're mailing a letter, but most importantly, the heading includes the date. In casual, friendly letters, your address is not necessary. So if you're just passing a note to a friend, you don't need to write your address on it. But the date is an important part of friendly letters. So that whole thing makes up the heading. Let's look at the next part. Heading, greeting. The greeting. The greeting is sometimes called the salutation. That's a fancy word that means greeting. Dear blank. The greeting is just who you're writing. The blank is for the name of the person you are writing. After you write a person's name, you put a comma. A comma crawls on the ground. Okay, it looks like a period, but it is not a period. A comma is like a period with a tail. It's not an apostrophe, which starts with an A and hangs in the air. It's a comma. A comma crawls on the ground. Dear Susan, comma. This is the greeting of our letter. I'm writing a letter to Susan. Notice that after I write her name, I put a comma. That's right. The body. Heading, greeting, body. The body of the letter is the information that you are writing in the letter. Okay, let's check out this letter to Susan. Dear Susan, comma, I hope you will be able to come and visit next month. We are planning a special visit to the museum. My mom will call your mom later this week and make all arrangements. Be sure to bring your swimsuit when you come. We're planning an afternoon trip to the lake. Let's look at this letter. How many commas do you see so far in the letter? I see a comma in the date. January 5th, comma, 2004. That's because commas are used to separate the date. They're used to separate the month from the year. Where's the other comma? Right, after the greeting. Dear Susan, comma. So I have a comma in the heading, and I have a comma in the greeting. I don't see any commas in the body of my letter right now, probably because I didn't write a list of things. Heading, greeting, body, closing. The closing. Let's talk about the closing. In the closing, the first word is capitalized, and you put a comma after the last word. Some examples of your closing might be sincerely, comma, your friend, comma, love, comma, very truly yours, comma. So let's look at where we put the closing. Your friend, what's that at the end? Your friend, comma. How many commas do I have now? One in the heading, January 5th, comma, 2004, even though it's 2020. Dear Susan, comma, your friend, comma. So 3 commas so far. This is the closing. Now I could use a love if I was writing someone that was in my family or really important to me or a close friend, but if not, I can just write your friend. This is the closing of the letter. Heading, greeting, body, closing, signature. Signature. Signature is a fancy way to say your name, and this goes under the closing. Okay, so right under the closing, you're going to put your name. All right, so the person who wrote this, her name was Allison. She was writing her friend Susan. Right here, we see Allison's name. Notice that when we're writing on a piece of paper that they have moved all the way over to the right side of the page to put the closing in the signature. This is important. When we're writing a friendly letter, we write the date all the way on the top right. Then we move to the left to write the greeting. Then we indent, which is a little short space, to write the body. And then we move to the right for the closing and the signature. Heading, greeting, body, closing, signature. There's the signature, but you would write your name, unless your name's Allison. Okay, boys and girls, I am excited to read your writing this week. You're going to do a great job writing letters. One fun thing I like to do is to write letters back and forth to my friends. So if it's okay with your teacher, maybe she might want to look at your friendly letters, but you could practice writing friendly letters to your classmates. Think of something encouraging to say, or you can share funny things about yourself. Have fun writing this week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're the best. Best writer. Whoop, whoop.